Welcome to the Smash Masters podcast, hosted by Stefan Eschi and Nick Priest. This is where we dig into the auto body collision repair field and talk quality repair methods and how the industry is always changing. Buckle up, it gonna get bumpy. Hey,
Alex,
I'll tell you, man,
first.
I barely made that. I'm sitting here, I'm like, go live on Instagram, go live on TikTok, go set this up. Oh, this isn't set up. Oh no, like all
Yeah.
during the intro. So
Well,
we made it.
we made it, and good thing is, this is episode number 40. So we've reached 40 episodes, and we've got 500 followers on here now
On Facebook, yeah. I mean,
on
we've got more
Facebook.
than that because we've got
Well,
like
just on the Facebook platform, but
there's
500 followers
quite
on
a few
there.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome. So we appreciate you guys doing that. And Gregory and James and Josh, man, we appreciate you guys coming in week after week and stopping in, saying
absolutely.
hey, all that stuff, man. We really appreciate it.
And man, 40 episodes.
Hmm.
Like I knew we'd make it, but we made it. to,
At
to
40.
40
So
episodes, that's a lot. So
yeah,
yeah, no, this has been cool. Starting out 2025 nice. Really excited for MTE coming up. First
right.
show of the year. Um, I
Week and a half
definitely
away. Week
uh,
and a
uh
half away now.
a
Next,
week, just a week. I mean, it's next week. Yeah, I guess a
yeah,
week and
next,
and a couple
yeah,
days. A
yeah,
week and
next
a couple
Wednesday. Yeah,
days. Just give it's a week. Just leave me
I
that.
got you. You can have it. You can have. What's up,
Thank
Andrew?
you, thank you. Hey, Andrew, what's going on? So yeah, I just want to remind everybody there's that collisionverse.com is a really awesome social media platform just for auto body individuals. That's PDR and collision. Just
Hmm.
creating a good community there where we can share our stuff, get tips and tricks, maybe learn a few things. There are courses and stuff on there. Uh, I'm working on my hat. Yeah, I have more hats than can fit there. It's just a little empty at the moment. How long did it take me to pick out a hat? It took me a good couple of minutes.
Yeah, he's over there complaining about what hat should I wear, and then he went out of the bedroom, and then he forgot to come back, and it was all crazy. It was crazy. So,
My
yeah.
my hat selection is very intentional, so everybody
Mhm.
knows. And when I go to things like MTE, just know that I pack like a hat for each day, sometimes more than one.
Yeah, he liked hat day at school a lot. He never gave it up.
Hell yeah.
Yep. So we got MTE coming up and all that stuff. Lots of talking will be about that. Lots of man, there's going to be so much stuff going on there. We're probably well, no, we're scheduled to go live there on Saturday at 2 o'clock.
Yep.
So, not what is it? Not this coming to be. What date is that actually? I don't know the actual date. I think it's the
That's easy to find
first.
out. It'll be the
Okay,
1st
so
of February at
it's
2
the
p.m.
first at 2 p.m. So, not next week, but Saturday we will have kind of a different schedule on that, but it'll be because MTE will be live. We'll be showing you guys all kinds of different stuff. So be sure and check that out too if you're not at MTE. And if you are at MTE, come by and say hi.
Yeah, there's a Radio Row, so you could come down and you can just you can bug us while we're live. And maybe we'll call you
Yeah,
on and ask you a few questions. So
why
definitely
not?
make sure, hey, Tristan over on TikTok. It is make sure you stop by the Radio Row Saturday at 2. And honestly, stop by there throughout the time because there's a podcast going there almost every time of the day on Friday and
Hmm.
Saturday. So
Lots of
come on
people will
by.
be.
We're gonna be like fighting over the microphone because they only gave us like an hour each, and you know how we like to go longer than an hour. Someone's gonna have to kick John Vidine off the microphone. I don't know how that's gonna happen, honestly, because that
Right,
guy is just like a microphone hog.
right.
But
Yeah, he
that's
likes
the
to go
Dent
a long
Reaper, if
time.
you don't know.
Another podcast that's really cool. Just dropped a new episode. Is Den Slayer, and yeah, we got Den Slayer down at the bottom left hand corner, and there's a reason why Den Slayer is man they're killing it out here.
Yeah,
Can't-
absolutely. Tristan just let me know he couldn't hear me on TikTok, but he should be able to hear me now. So
Oh, okay.
sorry about that, Tristan. Sorry about that, TikTok. But there's gonna be
Glad the
some.
live's back going on TikTok too, just in time to get that going.
Yeah, so it was even for the first couple days that TikTok came back, it was you couldn't go live. So yeah, it came back yesterday, like just in time for us to go live today on TikTok. So we're appreciative of that. If I do think that, in my personal opinion, I don't think it's around to stay. And if it is going to be staying, it'll be sold to a US company. They will change the algorithm, which means TikTok will not be the same TikTok anymore. So I have a feeling TikTok as we know it is on its way out. So if you only follow us on TikTok,
Big 40.
head
Yes,
over
sir.
to one of our other platforms. I mean, we got Collisionverse, we got YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, plenty to
Hmm.
choose from. So yeah,
Yep.
really really appreciate that.
Yes.
Anyway, so one other thing I wanted to let everybody know, in which we've been talking a lot about it. So our good friends from Dent Slayer set up a training program, an online training program, dentslayer.com. So if
Hmm.
you're looking to get started in PDR, head over to dentslayer.com. I'm gonna play you a little video right now on it.
James and Matt killing it.
Yeah, for
That's
sure,
awesome for sure.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're really on the fence about that, head over to dentslayer.com now and try out their free portion of their training to get started.
Yeah.
All right.
Why not? Why not?
All right. All right. All
What's up,
right.
Chris? Yep. So I know a lot of you guys know our guests that we have on, but some of you guys don't, and we're gonna bring him on and see if we can get to know him a little better. So let's bring in Lee.
I guess I'll click it.
I got it. All right, you got it. What's up, Lee?
Hey, gentlemen. Here, I figured I'd bring this one out.
make make metal flat again. There you go. That's a
Right.
great hat.
Right.
Yeah, I can't do hats very well.
Ah, I got no choice.
Almost.
I feel like I'm just so used to wearing hats.
I
Yeah,
love
me
them.
too.
I just don't like wearing them. So,
Right.
Yeah.
how you doing, guys?
When we're
Good.
doing great. What about yourself?
Busier than a cat covering up poop, getting ready for the show. But other than that, we're doing great, man.
Yeah,
Man,
you
you've been
guys
on
are live like every 5 minutes.
right.
It seems like.
I mean, Randy's been doing some ones during the day because I'm at work and
Mm,
then doing one. We literally, I think I did one every night last week.
Yeah.
Didn't do one on Saturday. Had two yesterday with Eric from Mobile Tech RX, Jim Mitchell last night, and then you guys tonight. And then I got Noah from DenOps is on tomorrow night. The Anson Crew's on Wednesday night, and then Bonnie Stafford from PDR Finesse is Thursday night.
wow, every night. Every night.
And we're getting an MTE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking Friday
Man,
off.
I don't blame you. That's a lot of going live.
Can we do this?
Yeah. Yeah, so we have a little bit different fan base to where we have collision guys, not just PDR guys, but we have both. So just for those guys, why don't you take us back to like kind of like how your starting journey is into PDR and stuff, just so everybody can kind of get to know you a little better.
Well, mine kind of the reason behind my journey is probably the same as a lot of guys, maybe a little different. I was a single dad and I had my daughter and I got into PDR shortly after she was born. And I'd been in the wholesale car business. I've got a wide background. But from 13 years in the nightclub business in Dallas, worked for Harris Hotel and Casino in Lake Tahoe, years of retail. I was in a wholesale car dealer for years, motorcycle business, the whole deal. But at the time, I'd gotten out of the car business and I was sick and tired of just wholesaling cars. I hated it. And I just knew what small amount of recons that I was doing, because I was doing some touch up, a little bumper stuff here and there, a little bit of interior repair. And I just knew I wasn't going to make the kind of money that I wanted and needed to make to take care of my daughter. So, an old buddy of mine, Mike Mistero, who's been in the industry for years, was officing at the car lot that I was officing at in Fort Worth, Texas. And Mike left to go chase hail in Australia. So there ended up being a need at the car lot for a PDR guy. And I'm, as most of y'all know, if you don't, I'm the head trainer for Dean King corporate wide now. And I am a Dean King grad. I went through the school a little over 20 years ago. Skip Phipps in Missouri is who trained me originally. And Skip's a 30-year hail guy that's just incredible. If you don't know Skip, you should. Yeah. And I found Todd Sudek, the owner and president of Dean King. Somehow I found him online because, of course, the internet wasn't back 2004 what it was today. Mm-hmm. And it was a incredible turnaround. Honestly, that was back before the whole financial debacle of 2008, 2009, and Dean King still had Sallie Mae funding for student loans back in those days. Oh. So I had contacted Todd, and he and I hit it off on the phone. And and a lot of people that know Todd that don't know Todd, he's really a warm, human being that genuinely cares about people. And he and I just hit it off, and we talked for like 2 hours on the phone that day. And he got me over to Cher O'Neill, who is our administration director, who still works for us today. And she processed me the paperwork, overnighted to me on Thursday. I signed it, overnighted it back to her on Friday. And I was sitting at Skip's shop in Springfield, Missouri, Sunday afternoon for a class Monday morning.
Oh, wow.
That's how, and back in those days, the training was the same as it is today. It was, $9-10 grand for 2 weeks with a set of tools, and back it is what it is. And Skip laid the foundation, and like most people that go through a 2-week course, I sucked. Sure, it is what it is. Yeah. You learn the foundation, but it's up to you to truly build on that foundation. And I went back to Fort Worth and got to pushing at the car lot and just pushed. And one of the fortunate situations I was in is being at a wholesale car dealership. Yeah, it's nasty wholesale work, but I had a lot of cars to practice on, which was good. And I pushed and pushed and pushed, and dent after dent after dent after dent. And Larry.
What up, Larry?
What up, Larry? But and then honestly, I have been very, very fortunate in this industry, having some of the associations that I've had over the years and the mentors that I've had over the years, between somebody that practically nobody in the industry knows. There's a guy by the name of Lucky Loomis who took me under his wing. He had about 6 years on me in the industry. He was actually trained by Jerry Powell originally. Matter of fact, he gave me one of my first tools outside of my Dean King kit. That's an original Jerry Powell. It's still on my pack out, and I use it regularly. I still love that tool. It's 30 years old. It's one of my favorite rods ever. And but Lucky took me under his wing, and he's been a dad to me for 25 years, and I love the guy. And then the epitome was Craig Dyer, and I was very fortunate to, I knew them forever. I'd known Christina since she was, but because I knew George, and our shop was literally right down the street on Division Street in Arlington, Texas, from the original Anson. And as far as growing up in the industry, I basically grew up in Anson, and I got the fortunate situation to go start chasing hail with Craig. And I always forget if it was 2009 or 2010. It was one of the two. And, the rest was kind of history. I chased with Craig for years and had my shop in Arlington, and, chased and had the shop, chased and had the shop, and did wholesale and retail. And, and then 2014, Todd reached back out to me and wanted me to start training for Dean King, and I trained part-time for them 14 and 15. And then 2016, we had that massive hailstorm in Arlington and Dallas, Fort Worth. The whole Metroplex got smashed. St. Patty's Day. What costume am I wearing?
Yeah.
That's a convoluted story. I'm not 100% sure. I might pick something different this weekend.
It's gonna be a surprise.
Yeah.
So anyhow, long story short, I started training for Dean King 16. After that big storm, I had both knees replaced, because those of you that don't know, I used to weigh over 500 pounds at my heaviest. And
I did not know that.
yeah, Larry, that was one of my favorite storms too. But anyhow, I had a debacle with the knee surgery. I fell, tripped, and had 5 more surgeries, 17 and 18. And middle of 18, honestly, I just wasn't sure if I was physically up to chasing hail anymore. So I went back to Dean King full time, went and chased hail in 21, took a year off, and said, screw this, I need to get it out of my system. And went back, and Todd offered me the position at the very beginning of 22, or end of 21, beginning of 22, for the head trainer corporate wide. And I said, cool, I'm down. He goes, I need you in California. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, wait, you want me to be the crazy Texan that moves to California when all the Californians are moving to Texas? What the hell? And almost 3 years later, here I am living in Southern California. So
why not, huh?
Yeah, it is what it is. So, you know, I'm very, I can't tell you how humbled and grateful I am in the industry, that I love the PDR industry. I genuinely still love just putting the headphones on, being left alone to fix a car. But my passion is also teaching, and the ability to help these guys move their careers forward. And let's face it, like myself, there's a lot of our industry that's aging out. I mean, I'll be 56 at MTE, and no, I'm not over the hill really. But I'm no spring chicken anymore either. And you know, it's a young man's game. And if I can do whatever I can do to help that younger generation come up and do it the right way.
Yeah.
The key is, like, I've got a student that came back today. She's only starting her 3rd week today, right? But I trained her. I trained her a year ago. She did 2 weeks a year ago. She works at a dealership up in Montana, and she's young. She's getting ready to turn 20 years old, right?
Oh, wow.
Right. She's the Dean Queen on Instagram. If y'all haven't found her, go follow her. Tatum
sounds familiar.
Badass, and she's incredible. And as a matter of fact, I'm putting a challenge out there. I'm going to be sponsoring her for the beginner competition coming up for the next expo. She's coming for everybody, and I promise you, she may take it. She's
good. Man, that's good.
Yeah. So
that's good.
That's pretty cool, though.
So I know you, as you started out, went through training, you've trained a lot of people yourself. What's one thing that was really difficult for you starting out? Like one thing that you might have struggled with that took you longer to get, working or get going or getting the feel of than maybe somebody else?
Well, I don't know about more so than anybody else. I think the biggest struggle for so many techs, including myself, was tapping down. I think that's I think that's one of the hardest struggles. And you know, it's funny, and I've had this conversation with so many guys, including other trainers that I'm dear friends with in the industry. We never talk about it. You know, everybody wants to talk about the latest, greatest tools and the push techniques and big smash repair and everything. That people don't take into consideration that tapping down is a minimum of 50% of what we do. If you get good at tapping down, it'll make you a better technician.
Yeah.
You know, I tell every one of my students, this is going to happen to you within the first 2 to 3 days of your training. You're going to have a dent that you think is just chewed up. It's going to look like a chewed up wad of bubble gum, and it's going to happen. You think it's maybe 30, 40% done. And I'll be able to walk over, and just by tapping that dent down, I'm going to take your 30 or 40% dent and turn it into a 70 or 80% dent just by cleaning it up. And if you will take the time to get good at tapping down, it'll make you a better tech.
All right.
I do believe that that's where the real chunk of the art form is in PDR, is the knocking down. I mean, we
Right.
don't push things and then leave them. We
Right.
don't pull things then leave them. We knock it down then leave them. So that's got it. That's where the real touch is, in my opinion.
Yep.
In the Kiko 5-day training, you know what they have you do day one? Knock down. And that's it.
That's it.
I mean,
That's it.
you
Knock down.
take finishing tabs.
Yep.
You put it on, you pull a high spot, and you knock it down. And you just
exact same thing, buddy.
Right.
Repeat.
Knock down and cross checking has to be the best thing.
And nowadays, I think blending, because it's become so much, such a bigger part of our industry. I mean, I remember when I first was taught to blend back in 2010. A dear friend of mine, technician out of Australia, Brad Walker, is who taught me how to blend. And the thing about teaching blending that's so difficult is that everything, so much of what we do is such a feel. But blending, it's truly that vibration and that bounce and that feel. It's hard to teach. You can demo it, you can show someone how to do it, and but at the end of the day, you have to just put the hammer in their hand and have them go do it. They're gonna make mistakes, and that's okay. But and that's the reason why Manny Lopez and I did that big blending and tap down seminar at the PDR Expo in September. In Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's up, Nick?
Okay. Hey, Nick, what's going on, man? I actually
Nick?
see one of Nick's tools up on your wall behind you there, Lee.
Actually, yes, you do. Yep.
Yeah.
That's good.
Thank you very
much.
Nick.
I have one that says Smash Masters on it.
Yeah, he sent several that have Ding King on it, and I saved one just to keep up here. But there's one on my cart that I use regularly. I can't wait to get to see the new shock blocker, the magnetic one.
I want to try it.
Nick, I hope you're bringing a handful of those, because I'm taking some back with me.
Yeah,
that blows my mind, actually.
If he has some there, I'm going to take one too myself.
Yeah.
I don't care if we've got to tackle him and take him out of the pockets. I'm bringing some back with me.
Yeah, well, you got to get there before Danny Hacker gets there, because he'll have them in his pocket already.
Ooh, you got to watch that Danny Hacker, man.
Danny and I are buds. I'll take Danny down. I ain't worried about it.
Right. So during the trainings, you would say tapping down's the hardest for anybody to learn also?
I think, well, it always depends on the individual, of course.
Right, but like we're just like gathering like as a collective whole, like something that most people struggle with.
I think as a whole, it's a genuine struggle for a majority of people. I do.
Yeah.
And you know what it boils down to is guys get in. I can take guys get into this. They get into their head, and that's part of the learning aspect of PDR, because we always say that first push is the most important push, but yet the last 5 to 10% of every dent is the hardest part, right?
Yeah,
right.
Part of it we can explain by the metal theories. We don't have to get into all that, but that's part of it. But the other part of that is up here. You get a dent so close that you get caught, that guys will get caught in this trap of, well, shit, if I push it hard enough, then I'm going to have to tap it down. And then if I tap it down, I'm going to accidentally knock it down too low, and then I'm going to have to push it back. Shut up and push the dent.
Okay.
Don't overthink it.
Push it up a little bit high, and see, there's a huge difference. And let me say the way I explain this. And actually, I had a dear friend of mine a while back say this to me, and he's an old dent wizard tech, and he was so right the way he explained this. There is a huge difference between a controlled high and a tool mark.
Yep.
And if you can make a controlled high, that's what you want to do, and then tap it down. A tool mark is a whole different animal.
Sure.
And when you when you can learn that pressure and when you can discern the difference between that, that's what'll help you get to that next level.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I've told it on here a bunch of times, but coming from collision work, we kind of already have a sense of how to work metal
Mhm.
without seeing it. So the hardest thing for me personally was trying to figure out the light situation, like the
Sure.
near, far, the cross check, doing all those kind of things. And you can get a dent looking really good from one angle, and until you realize, hey, when do I start cross checking this? And you can look at it from that other angle, and you go, oh, good God, what did I do? And
Oh
then
yeah.
working back and forth. So that was difficult for me, far as is how far to push the light and when to start cross checking. Um,
That's very similar to what was my light bulb moment
yeah,
was also the light. But it was different. I mean, I'm in the middle of David White's training, and I had already done a bunch of real world PDR training, and went to David White's, and I'm just having him look over my shoulder. And there was at one point, it didn't matter how many people told me. I've seen it in a million videos. I've seen it in Jim's videos. David had told me, Mike Toledo's videos. You know, all of them say you got to get the light, you know, parallel to your eyes. You know, you can't be on an angle or something like that.
Yep.
And, you know, I heard them, you know, and I tried to do it, but it didn't, the reasoning why wasn't explained.
yeah,
And so I'm reading the dents and I'm reading the panel, and I found that if I look at it and my eyes can focus on the texture, I do real well. But if I'm having trouble focusing on the reflection, it's because something's not right with my head or with the light. And that focus was what brought in my ability to hit that one spot I was trying to get. So anyway, what it was like all of a sudden there was no problem. I was like, okay, work on getting your head where you can see it, then push. You know, don't just be like, oh, I know my tool's somewhere around there, you know, and then go.
Two things.
Yeah,
Beam parallel to your eyes.
yeah.
But here's the key. Always keep your chin pointed to the panel.
Hmm.
As long as
Maybe
you keep
that's what it
your chin
was.
pointed to the panel, you'll always have your eyes in the right angle.
yeah.
I get it. I get it. Yeah. That's
That
good.
yeah, that's a good
So
way to think about it.
that would have helped me get to that point. You know,
Right.
that little tidbit there. But yeah, yeah,
Well,
that's
the thing about
absolutely part of it.
blending, and I helped Tatum today. That was one of the things she came back for. She wanted to work on blending with me.
Mm.
And the first thing I noticed when she was blending, and this is a huge mistake that I do notice that a lot of guys make, is when they're blending, they're doing this. Okay, they're using their wrist. And I always describe blending as, and everybody hates when I say it this way, but and bear in mind, I've been accused of being able to talk paint off of a wall. So I do sometimes, because here's the thing. I want you to know why I'm telling you to do something. I'm not just
Right.
telling you to do it. You need to understand why I need you. What if you don't have a chin? Next, I want you to know why I'm telling you to do it. So I'm sitting there watching her, and she's literally doing this with her blending hammer. And she's using one of my Willie Quick blending hammers. So it's not the hammer. And I said, whoa, hang on a second. Hang on. Stop with the wrist. Okay. And I like having a tap down handle screwed into the end of my Willie Quick blending hammer because that's comfortable for me. Right.
Okay.
So she's got tiny hands. So I put the ball end that comes on that hammer back on it. And I said, cradle it in your hand. And I said, but put your finger up on the blending hammer like this. And I said, let it loose and flow in your hand and control the bounce with your finger. And immediately changing her hand position and her not trying to control it and go limp with her wrist, she immediately started flowing that metal out on a rail.
Yep. Yep.
It's the little subtleties of those little things that make such a huge difference.
for sure.
It is. It really is, especially when you have what we would call light waves in a panel, and you're just kind of working those out. It's the
Mhm.
smallest tap. It's the smallest hit with a hammer or a knockdown that blends those out nicely.
Well, and I love it when I'll have students ask me, "Well, what's the best blending hammer out there? Which one should I get?" I can't answer that for you.
Mhm.
There's 100 different blending hammers out there, and there's also, I mean, kind of in my opinion, there's two theories too. I don't know what y'all both prefer, but like, do you like a heavier hammer where you allow the weight of the head of the hammer create your bounce? Or for like myself, I prefer a lighter weight one where I'm controlling the bounce.
Right.
Neither's right or wrong. It's what
Right.
works best for you, you know.
Um, if I was to say to answer that question, I would say depending on what metal I'm working on.
And that's fair. And that's fair. Right.
I don't really care if the hammer is light or heavy, more so than I care about what material I'm hitting it with.
I
So
can I
and
can
and and again, if I'm using uh, a metal hammer or a plastic or whatever rubber, it all just depends on what I'm working on,
Mhm.
more so than the hammer itself.
Right.
For
Well, for
sure.
sure. Like when I've done a lot of the GPR training, like for the Amazon band program that we have,
Hmm.
that's a huge difference. I'm not using a carbon fiber hammer on those Amazon bands, especially the Rivians. I'm using a heavyweight, solid, probably using one of the heavy duty Kikos because it's got a solid
Right.
shaft. Because let's face it, I'm beating the hell out of that stuff. You know,
Good
Yes.
job, Aiden.
if I'm
Nice.
cool, dude, awesome, man. If I'm on if I'm on a Toyota Highlander roof rail that's got light hail on it, then I'm going a little lighter. So you're right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely depends on the circumstances. The
Yeah.
one thing for me that I do prefer about a lightweight hammer compared to a heavier one is I can make a lightweight hammer heavier. I can't make
Hmm.
a heavy one lighter.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I
And
agree with that.
and that to me is more important. I mean, I know people get caught up with, oh, you don't want the 4 ounce, you want the 6 ounce. It's perfect in hand, dude. That's not even really enough to matter.
Right.
Just whatever you're hitting it with, just get comfortable with the metal you're working on, and then it doesn't matter. That's just my opinion, though.
Well, and
Yep.
it's valid. I mean, if you're hitting it right, okay. Let's just call a spade here. If you're pushing a dent correctly on a level, and I know I may get called out here, but on a level, does it matter what tool you're pushing it with?
Not really.
I
No.
mean, it's like the old age argument of a. Of course, Hudson would argue this. Come
Yeah,
on,
I know
brother.
you would. I know you would, but it
He would
whatever
argue
argument
anything.
whatever argument you have with what I just said about hammers is invalid.
I love I do.
Okay.
But what my point was is like talk about like sharp tip tools. Like some of my favorite rods ever are the PDR Finesse Mark Turkis, the sharp tip rods, right?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Well, here's the thing. Everybody's like, oh well, I'm new. I can't use a sharp tip because I'm gonna crack the paint. Well, that's possible, but the accuracy level of that sharp tip tool, and in reality, here's what a lot of people don't realize about a sharp tip tool. You don't have to push as hard because you're moving such a smaller amount of metal at a time. You have a lot more control in your push. So it
Hmm.
allows you to not have to push as hard.
Hmm.
As
Yep.
long
Yeah, uh,
and here and
I
here's
would
the
agree with
reality
that.
for a new tech, and I hate the word newbie, but here's the reality for a new tech. A brand new technician only has one sensory that they can use to fix a dent, and that's their vision. They don't have the muscle memory and the feeling of the movement of that metal yet that the
Hmm.
three of us have, or a lot of the guys that are watching this stream right now, right?
Right.
You build that over time. That comes from dent after dent after dent after dent. Well, at that point, you then have two sensories that you can push that dent with: the feeling of the movement of that metal and your vision. That's a different scenario.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep, and it's also depends on what you're trained on. too. I mean, if you train somebody on nothing but aluminum with sharp tip tools, and then you say, "Hey, I got this dent in this Honda Accord door," then they're calibrated to push on this aluminum with sharp tip. They're not going to want to know what to do with the sharp tip on a soft door like a Honda. So it takes a little bit of calibration work.
Well, yeah, and that's and that's the reason. And I saw Hudson's tip right there. Broader tips crack paint more than sharper tips. On a level, I completely agree with him, and that's
Mhm.
because of the psychological side that people think they're safer with a broad tip.
Right, and then they can just push harder, and it doesn't matter.
Or they
Correct.
can't find the tip and they just keep pushing harder to find the tip.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But the thing about it is it's that pressure that they need to be taught to learn to be able to rein that pressure in the different metals. It's like I have so many students ask me because so many of my students will watch videos, and it also depends on the videos. If these guys are watching Jim's and Danny's and Mike's and all these different videos that are out there and Matt's, it's like cool. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
They're good videos. They're excellent instructors. They know what they're talking about. Listen to them. But a lot of them will come in and go, well, what about pushing with Tessa tape? Or I can put a cap on it. But no. I refuse. And maybe I'll get called out here too. I don't care. I refuse to allow my students to use a cap tip really the first week of their training. Why? I need them to understand the pressure.
Right.
If I give them a cap tip or tape or an R4 with a cherry cap on it, initially, they're going to use it as a crutch, not as a tool when they can use it to better their push.
Mhm.
How do you teach them the pressure? Coaching. It's a matter of standing over their shoulder, truly watching them and letting them make the mistakes. I'm
Mm.
let them make a mistake and go, nope, that's too hard. Okay. Here's back your pressure off. And then once I scare them and they do get scared on those initial pushes, because on their I have them make their tap down exercises. Okay.
Mhm.
And when they crack the shit out of the paint, and then I move them to a dent, they're afraid of cracking the paint. Then I can stand over their shoulder and go, okay, now listen to me, pay attention, push, 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 push. And I keep them pushing until they can get that pressure that they understand. Okay, this is the pressure that I need.
That's good.
Get
It's
there.
it's
Really,
that's
Hudson.
I mean that whole the training you do I there was a time when I was dying to come down and see you at Ding King. Actually, my employer had sent two people to learn from you before I was even interested in PDR.
I remember
And
that.
they came back and the
That
technician
was
was
before
good.
I think that was before I was in Cali, wasn't it?
They said it was you.
Was it? Who was it?
Yeah.
Names.
Oh
You remember?
man. So the names are escaping me. One of them was named Stro. His real name was Mike, but he went by Stro. That was his. Unfortunately, he passed. He had a kind of an accident in his garage with
Huh.
electricity. But he was a really nice guy, and he came back and he was able to push some dents. Very small. Just want to see Lee in a nun outfit.
Hudson ain't nobody want to see that.
The
Only
bar's been
you.
raised.
Oh
um,
man.
but the other person who came back was not a technician at all, and he was not picking it up. So
I
his tools kind of got.
I remember
Sorry,
you
go.
reached out to me shortly thereafter, and you didn't I send you a bunch of glue?
Yeah, that wasn't me.
I could have sworn that was.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I don't recall because all I can say to that is over the course of the last 3 years, I have, and I know anybody can say this, but this is genuine. over the course of the last 3 years, I have absolutely done my best to take our training to another level, to the
Mm,
nth degree that I can take it to.
mm.
And and that's just the truth. I mean, I'm doing everything I can to because like I said, these guys that I'm training, and I'm very fortunate that I get to train a lot of people, but it's our next wave of our industry.
Mm. Yeah,
Hmm.
it is absolutely. Um, I
Yeah,
actually
I
ended
agree.
up with one of those toolkits because of the guy who didn't pick up the,
Which
the
one
the
did you
skill at
get?
all.
The
Oh,
care
okay. So it's a black bag. It had a Stucky light, and a good 20 rods in it.
was that the Dentcraft set?
No, I mean it did have Dentcraft tools in it.
Yeah, it was probably the combo. It was either the combo Dentcraft CarePoint or the Dentcraft B&D. It was one of the two probably.
Probably the Care Point, I'm pretty sure. Because that would make a lot of sense because some of my tools I had no idea what the hell they were and I was trying to like match them up with A1 or somebody.
They were
But
probably Care.
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
That makes perfect sense. I use a bunch of them all the time. I mean, it was a great kit.
yeah. CarePoint's a convoluted conversation, but they actually have pretty decent tools. They really do. They have good tools.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, the boss was planning to send me out to see you, and I had found David locally and talked him into taking me on because I have a bunch of animals in my house. I don't like leaving if I don't have to, especially for 2 whole weeks.
Thank you, Randy.
Uh, yeah, absolutely.
So,
Um,
how about David White?
yeah,
You poor thing.
that's what everybody says.
I love
I
David.
know you.
I love David. No, I just David and I'll give take. I don't get a chance to talk to David all that often. Really, I mean, really, most of the time I only get a chance to talk to him at the shows for some
Mhm.
stupid odd reason. I mean, we're just always so busy. But I
Yeah,
mean,
sure.
it's even like me, Mike Toledo, and myself. I talked to him the other day, but it's like I live an hour and a half from Toledo, and it's like I typically only see him at the shows, and it's ridiculous, but it is what it is. But no, David and I tend to always take the opportunity to screw with each other whenever we see each other. So,
Yeah.
He's a great dude.
oh, he is. David's awesome.
How do you
So
not
I.
crack Toyota paint?
Not push on it,
Yeah, don't work on Toyotas.
right?
Easy, just
What
don't
it's what
crack the
we used
paint.
to say about Subarus when I was doing hail constantly. Especially when I used to go to Denver and chase hail up in Denver a lot. Oh my God, we'd all cringe when a damn Subaru would come out. You sneeze wrong on the backside of that panel, you're cracking paint.
I've done two of them already up here in Denver, so I know what you're talking about.
I think what was it, Nick? What was it? 21. I think the body style changed. I think it got a lot better. Was it 21? 21,
Uh,
one of those years?
well, I think they changed in 22,
I think
but
so. Because I remember
um,
I pushed on one that's a later model here a couple of years ago, and
yeah,
and I'm like, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, this isn't what I used to push on because it had been a while for a while. Yeah, like before that, those older, like the Foresters and the Alp. Oh my God, I
yeah, the 15, 14 models and all that.
they were brutal. I mean, it was either that or a Mitsubishi. They were neck and neck.
Hmm.
Oof.
I haven't pushed
Well,
on
I'm
a
glad I missed
Mitsubishi
that.
yet, but I generally get a lot of Chevrolets,
Right.
Subarus up here in Denver, and Audis.
Yeah.
So I get a lot
Yeah,
of.
we get lots of Subarus up here in the Northeast.
Yeah.
Lots of Subarus, lots of Toyotas.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean,
I
I've
don't mind the Toyotas.
not.
I mean, I really don't. I like the metal. I mean, you just have to be careful with some of the paints. That's all.
Yeah, no, I personally I like the thinner metal stuff. I don't have to work my elbows and wrists too hard, so that's
Right.
nice.
What is the
So I
your
did notice that you guys are offering 2 weeks of training in the Kevin Halewood Foundation raffle.
Yep.
Can you
So
tell can you tell us more about the raffle that's going on and what you guys are raising money for?
Absolutely. So the Kevin Halewood Foundation, obviously named for our beloved Kevin Halewood that passed away literally the day after MTE last year. Who
And for
started?
those that don't, yeah, there we go. Yeah, for those that don't know who Kevin Halewood is.
So Kevin Halewood originally started Mobile Tech Expo, and he started it as a newspaper originally, to pretty much bring the detail and all the different segments of the recon industry together. And Kevin was synonymous with the entire industry for many, many years. And for those of you that didn't have the opportunity to know him, he was just one of the most gracious, wonderful human beings that you would ever know. He truly was. And Randy Hobson, and I'm so grateful to Randy for bringing me in and being involved in that, because officially my title is PR and communications director for the foundation. So the foundation is established for helping fallen technicians that have run into especially major health problems or major financial problems over the course of the year. It's Kevin Halewood Foundation.org is the website, and you can go online and hey, we're all guys. We all have that macho thing in us, that we're prideful and we don't like to reach out for help. And I don't know if y'all caught this on the podcast the other night, with the Dent Nerds, that Randy shared his story a few years ago, that Randy has prostate cancer. And he was out of work for a long time because of it. And then of course my debacle with my knees several years ago, neither one of us were the kind of person that would reach out for help. And so many of us are like that within the industry. Well, one of the nice things about the Kevin Halewood Foundation and somebody that can reach out for help, it's private. You go on the website, you fill out the information. No one in the industry knows who you are, that you're asking, or anything. The only people that genuinely know is the board of directors that votes on, that agrees to send you money. We were able to help 8 families last year, significantly.
Nice.
And throughout the year, we do a lot of fundraising and things that we do. It's like the bass tournament, the Kevin Halewood Keeping It Real annual bass tournament. That's the day before MTE, so it's next Wednesday. We have, and it's sold out in a week. We've got, I believe it's 24 or 26 boats with 3-man teams in it. It's all a guided. It's all a guided deal. I mean, it's going to be absolutely amazing. All of the proceeds goes to the Kevin Halewood Foundation. Everything that Randy does, that I do, and all of the board of directors, nobody takes a penny out of the foundation. The only money that comes out of the foundation goes to help families or actual costs. I mean, obviously, us putting on the bass tournament literally costs us about $25,000 for putting on the bass tournament, paying for the boats and and all that, but all of the excess proceeds go directly into the foundation. The raffle that you're referring to, last year I did a bunch of the Recon Garage online raffles and stuff, and we raised a lot of money, but it's kind of difficult to do, and I'm going to kind of figure out a little bit different way of doing that. But this year at MTE, there's so many vendors that, I mean, like practically every vendor within the industry, a few of the detail vendors have donated packages that are a minimum of $500. Now, the $100 raffle ticket that Chris was referring to just now, you can buy the $100 raffle ticket currently on the Kevin Halewood Foundation website. That is for a specific raffle. Tom Williams from Mobile Environmental Solutions, who does the dent estimating tent. He does different the blow up tent, the blow up paint booth. He dropped this the other night, so I'm not spilling the beans on anything. He's actually releasing a blow up detail booth at the show. He donated one of the estimating tents to the foundation to use as a raffle. This is an $8,000 blow up tent. And
Wow.
Randy has one. He bought one, and he swears by it. And if you saw the pictures of it and the video of it, I'll just tell you what Randy has said. Every one of the hail estimates that he's done so far he did last year, he didn't have any adjuster or insurance company question anything, because in this tent you can see every single dent on that car. There's no question about it. So Tom has donated one of those $100 raffle tickets. So someone's going to walk away with that tent for $100. But he added to the raffle, because we're trying to bridge the gap of the whole recon industry to the detail side, the collision side, the coating side, everything. He's offered whoever wins it, they have their choice between the dent estimating tent and the detailed tent. Either one they want, they can have it. Or if they want to upgrade to the paint booth, the blow-up paint booth, he'll give you the $8,000 credit toward the paint booth.
Wow.
So not only will those tickets be available at the show, but they're currently available on the website at the kevinhalewood.org website.
For the tent.
For the tent. Everyone else, all of the individual vendors and sponsors that are doing raffles, and like I said, it's so many of them. Anson, A1, PDR Finesse. I can go on. I'll pull that up. But you know everybody that I'm talking about. There's going to be a box in each one of their booths. They're going to be selling the raffle tickets at the show. Their tickets are $25 each, or $5 for $100. And every one of them, every one of the vendors are giving away a minimum of a $500 package. It's whether it's tools or services or whatever the case is, it's minimum $500 for that raffle day. Now they're going to be selling their own tickets. We're going to be selling tickets at, and I may be wrong here, but I think the Kevin Halewood Foundation is going to be in the Mobile Environmental Solutions booth. I think it's booth 135. I hope that's right, Randy. Randy's in here somewhere listening. You can buy tickets, and what we're doing is all of the ticket sales Friday and Saturday up till noon on Saturday. Then we're gonna go around and do all of the raffle drawings live on Saturday afternoon to give away all these prizes. Now, quick scenario here. You do not have to be present at the show to win. If you buy the raffle ticket, let's say Friday, and you leave, you're only there Friday, and you win on Saturday, you win the prize. You got to make sure you write your name and phone number. We're gonna call you live on air on Saturday. Now, if you're not there, you'll be responsible for shipping to get it to you, but you don't have to be present.
I do want to warn you, if either one of us win on Saturday, we might be live doing our podcast Saturday afternoon. So if you call us, we might not pick up.
Podcast, because I'm going to be drawing these live. So I'm going to be going around doing the drawing. So don't worry. We'll both be live when I call you. It's going to be fun. Don't worry.
I love it because I'm going to win something, So
I really, I mean, I don't think I've ever won a drawing anywhere, even at Anson.
No.
I never have. And you know what's funny is my girlfriend Chelsea and I were down at Anson for the open house May 4th last year, right?
We were there. Yep.
Right. That was when, God bless Dave Shalat. We shaved
Dave's
foundation, and we're doing all these different things. So Anson always does their drawings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea, who has never pushed a dent in her life, God love her, who is getting ready to start her own glue pulling company because she won one of their raffle drawings, and she won the Kiko anniversary limited edition robo lifter, a bunch of glue and a whole shitload of glue tabs. And she's walking around and she's like almost ready to give this away to somebody. And I'm like, whoa.
I remember a bunch of people winning stuff there.
Yeah, it's in my spare room. So I guess I kind of did win. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we didn't technically win anything either there, but I think Mark he won a what did he win? I forget the
He
name.
won the K bar, the
He won the
Kiko K
K bar.
bar.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
won the K bar, and
Oh,
he come up to us and he's like, "I already got one of these. Do any one of you guys want this?"
So now I have it.
that's funny.
And actually, I
Right.
have to send it to him because I have since purchased Kiko L2E. So now I have two K bars,
K-bar.
and he has none.
I have
So
zero K bars, so now
so
one of
he's
these
gonna
days
get
I'm
the
gonna
K
get a
bar
K
from
bar.
he's gonna get the K bar from Mark. I just haven't sent it to him yet. But yeah,
I'm only jealous of the new premium system because I pretty much have the entire L2E plus the K powers. I've got all of that, but I don't have the new tower. And I'm
or the
like,
quick stick.
oh, the new quick, yeah. I've
The
got
quick stick is nice.
but the
I
new, I don't have either one of those. Danny, if you're listening,
Yeah, the
Right.
tower is excellent. That's my hands down my favorite tower.
Mhm.
But the
right,
that
sorry to
quick
interrupt you,
stick.
Stefan. I said that because Danny just jumped on my stream on my page. Danny's watching.
Well, okay.
Oh.
Hey, getting to use the quick stick and the K tower was fun. It
It
was.
was very cool.
It was fun.
I couldn't believe the power you can get out of either of those two.
Right, and we weren't using them in a manner that you would normally use them. We were trying our best to abuse these as much as possible,
They
Well,
and
did
told
you
us to.
it
video
was fun.
with the cherry picker where he pulled the door skin off the car?
Yeah, that was a good
Yeah,
video.
that was a
That
good
was a good,
video.
but none of us were surprised by that. And those of us who know about glue
Oh
pulling
yeah.
know that that's
Mhm.
like, of course, that's what happened.
Yeah,
But it's great to show people that really don't understand what it's capable of doing, and they go,
Yeah,
hmm.
yeah, right. I love
How
that.
does
I
that
love
work?
showing people those kinds of videos. I mean, Charles did one where he lifted the car off the ground with his tab.
right. Oh yeah.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
then both Ken and Kiko ripping door skins off. The the it just makes
Charles
people's
did it
jaws
with
drop.
bare metal glue too. That green glue of his. Charles did it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
did Charles do it with the bare metal glue? The green one? Is that isn't that
yeah,
the bare metal?
yeah.
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 Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's all over there. We know the power of glue pulling. Yeah, that's one thing I like to show people are those videos, and then I like to also the guys that look at me doing the PDR, and I'm just like, go check out Bryce Kelly. Come back and talk to me. They come back and they're like, boom. It's
How
like,
did
yeah, I
that happen?
know, I know.
I
Yeah.
you guys ask me all the time because I mean I've been doing this for a long time, and I love what I do, and it's like so everybody, especially my students, they're like, so who's the best at such and such, and I'm like, okay, look, because I always have guys ask me who's the best out there at big smash dents, and I'm like, look,
Hmm.
I'm not the guy that calls anybody out that says this guy is the best. However, you know, I will say my three, and I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, but when it comes to big smash stuff out there, Bryce, Danny, Gene.
Mm. Matt
I mean,
Boyette's pretty good too.
and Matt
Matt,
is too. I'm not
So
knocking Matt at all.
we're not knocking anybody.
no,
So
no,
the
no.
other thing I'd like to point out is these are the people that document their
Exactly.
repairs. There are
Yes.
plenty of people that don't
Here's
document,
the
and
reality.
they're out there.
Here's the thing. Bryce is a machine. Okay.
Yeah.
Bryce has a patience level that is inhumane.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's
Agreed.
the key. Andrew, we actually have a location in South Carolina, by the way.
Oh, there you go.
There
Dig
you
King.
go. There you
Awesome.
go, buddy.
Happy to get you information. But he's got the patience of a freaking robot, of which, like I said, I'm 55 years old. I can do those repairs. I don't want to do those repairs. I don't have the patience for them. I mean, I can do them. I just no.
I hear
Right?
a lot of people say that.
God bless you. I mean, Matt, knock yourself out, baby. You kill it. I just don't want to do those anymore, you know? And
That's
but you know what the sad part about it is when you get to a certain level in your career, and I'm not saying myself, but you get to a certain level in your career where all you have show up is the crap that nobody else wants to fix.
that's not the best situation.
Can I have a gravy once in a blue moon?
Please.
Can I get a $50 size door ding?
Yeah. I forget who it was that was talking about how you should name your company after what you want to fix. So I'm going to name my company Small Dent Company. small, medium crease dent company. Medium creases only.
You got to get on. You got to get over there and get on gravydents.com and submit your order.
I can't agree with you on that one, Savon, because I happen to be one of the freakazoids of the industry who loves creases.
Okay.
I've always had a tenacity for them. I pride myself in being very good at creases, and I love fixing creases. So I know. Well, there is good money in creases, but I would much prefer to fix a freaking crease this long that's this damn deep than I would a smashed in quarter pound. But
everybody has their niche, what they like and what they feel most comfortable doing.
Oh, absolutely. Sure. And I can't explain it. I have no idea why I'm good at creases. I love doing them. And you know, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
No, that's good. Yeah, I don't think I've been doing PDR long enough to find my niche really yet, but being that I love doing large repairs in the body field, it's kind of starting to transfer over. I'm really enjoying taking those larger stuff. So I'm in a body shop right now, 4 days out of the week, and then 1 day of the week I do my PDR company.
Right.
But when I'm in the body shop, my I'm still kind of new there. I'm in 6 months, but the boss likes me for the glue pulling and the PDR skills. And his kid is in college now. His kids has lots of friends, and they all have cars, and they're all smashed. And none of them want to put in a claim. None of them want to spend the money. So hey, I got this guy. He does this. He'll make it better. You know, like it won't be perfect, but it'll be better for much cheaper. So I've been getting practice out the wazoo on these ginormous like doors that should be replaced, you know, quarters, giant dents in them, and not being given the option to do filler, and pretty much just I've been having a lot of fun dialing it in and learning what it takes.
Even though I said what I said before about not really wanting to do that big smash stuff these days, when I do take the opportunity to fix that stuff, it's kind of like taking just a crushed hail car and glassing it out. It is very, very satisfying. You know, and that's one of the things I've always loved about PDR is because I mean it is an art. You know, it's like, and a lot of people may get mad at me for saying it this way, but I always correlate it to take a sculptor. Okay. A sculptor takes new metal, old metal, whatever, and they shape it, form it, bend it, whatever they do with it to try to make it aesthetically pleasing to themselves and potentially someone else that's going to pay a lot of money for it, right? But they've got free reign to do whatever they want to. You know, they can form it and shape it however they want to, right? We have a guideline that we have to put it back to.
Yep.
We have a goal. If it's not back here, it's not done. It's not right. It's not fixed. It's not perfect. It's not glassed.
Right.
Which do you think is more difficult? I know which one's more difficult.
Oh, you know? Sure.
So yes, I totally agree with you. When you take those, that's whatever the damage is. I don't care if it's just a quarter size door ding for that matter, especially for a newer tech. You take a smashed in quarter panel, you take a 12-inch crease, you take a deep quarter size dent, you glass that thing out. That is a very, very satisfying situation. One of my favorite things in training is the first time when one of my students glasses that dent out and I see that look come over their face, they're like, holy crap, that's what he's been talking about.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. And then you figure out the rest of the time chasing more of those. And each time you get better and better.
Chasing that dopamine.
Right.
You're right. It is. It's self-gratifying, but that's I mean, sure, the money factor is the money factor. I mean, we all do what we do to make a living. Period.
Right.
That goes without saying. But there's a lot of things that you could do that the three of us could go do. Hell, there's always barber college. There's something we could go do that we could make a living at. Not necessarily as good a living as PDR can be, but a living nonetheless. But it may not be as satisfying. You know,
you're definitely not. I mean, if you find something that you enjoy, going and doing something else just isn't going to be satisfying, though.
Absolutely.
It's just not.
Right.
I always said I should have been an electrician, but where do you look at your finished product there? I mean, I guess a nice
you hide everything.
Circuit board. I
do
the same thing with body work.
I mean, when the light bulb turns on, just like my students' light bulbs turn on.
Yeah, I guess. You see the light bulb turn on, I guess. No, I don't know. But yeah, I totally get it. I mean, it's kind of why I got into auto body in the first place. I mean, I toured a trade school and they said, do you want to do mechanics or auto body? And I had to make up my mind right there and then, which was bad, but whatever. And my reasoning was I want to make things look cool. I want to look at something cool when I'm done with it. I don't want it to just run, you know? So it's, yeah, that was what threw me in that direction. And I'm glad I made that decision.
I would agree with that. I mean, I've done my own service work on a lot of my vehicles over the years. I've done race cars and built motorcycles, and I love doing that kind of stuff and turning wrenches and everything. But I never wanted to do it for a living.
No.
Yeah.
You know, I just it wasn't what I wanted to do, and frankly, I didn't know PDR was what I wanted to do until I got into it, and I'm like, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, how to play with sticks. It doesn't even sound fun, but here we are, and it's great.
Metal bendy sticks. I mean, there aren't many kids out there that say, I want to be a paintless dent repair tech. So,
hey, at least they said a paintless dent repair tech to you and not a dentless paint repair tech.
Yeah, dentless paint tech. I believe it. We hear it constantly.
No, we've never heard that one, have we?
No.
We're still doing that paint, that dentless paint thing? It's like, no.
Yeah. I've
never done that.
Yeah, right. Can you guys just suck out these dents? Like,
oh my God. Over the years, especially when I was living in Texas, if I had one more person walk up to me and go, do you use dry ice?
Yeah, dry ice. Boiling water. You got suction cups in there? You got your suction cups?
Put dry ice on 112 degrees outside. See what happens to it.
Yeah.
Oh God. People are funny. People are funny. Well, Lee, it was great having you on. I really appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely, man.
I hope we didn't disrupt your day too much, but it's
I bolted out of work at 4 o'clock California time, got on here with you guys at 5 o'clock California time, and I'm rolling. But hey, it's only 10 minutes after 6 my time, so I got plenty of evening left. I'm good to go.
I'm going to bed. It's 9 o'clock. It's past 9 o'clock. It's past my bedtime. No, but it really was great having you on. Super stoked to see you and everybody else at MTE.
There's gonna be a lot of stuff going on.
And seriously, thank you for everything you do with training and everything like that, because this industry needs it, and somebody's got to do it.
Where do we friend Lee? People want to know.
Don't fiend him.
I'm PDR Zen Master pretty much everywhere. Lee A. Roth on FaceTime. Jesus Christ. Facebook. You should be able to find me as PDR Zen Master. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Snapchat, I'm on TikTok, YouTube, PDR Zen Master. If you can't find me, you're not trying.
Right.
You can email me at lee@deanking.com.
Lee@dingking.com. That's probably
You'll
the
find
easiest right there
him.
for you, Andrew.
Yeah.
But yeah, just do a Google search, Lee Roth.
Danny just commented on my feed. This is Lee's 10th podcast today.
And he's doing an 11-1 in an hour.
There we go, baby.
Right.
All right. So I'm just gonna sign off. I'm gonna end it right here. So everybody have a great night.
We appreciate you again, man. Have a good one.
Guys. We'll see you next week. Love you guys.
Sure. Peace out.
Bye,
man.
everybody.